Raya. Firstly, I want to compliment the organizer for this conference. But it's not a conference, it's a very interesting platform, and in fact, it's better than any I've seen, in fact, the best that I've seen. Simply because it's a very unique way of crowdsourcing for ideas. And that's where you really get to know the root of the problem. Right? I have organized a National Buddhist Conference donkey years ago, and you only hear from distinguished speakers, but that is only one way, right? The problem is here, where each and every one of us are facing. And I think until we know some of this root problem, right, it's hard to really have organizational sustainability. Otherwise, you just have a view of just the leaders. So I think I applaud the organizers to pull this together. I will share my experience from two levels, within the organization and inter-organization. And I will quote some recent examples which I personally experienced. Even though I've been in the Buddhist circles for so long, but I can tell you in recent months since I joined the Buddhist Fellowship, I learned so much more than what I've learned before. The reason because of the youth today, they are so talented, they got so many ideas that we are running out of volunteers to execute them. So, in fact, Sister Samantha's presentation is really awesome, it's fantastic. And what we did in BF, we adopt some of the approach. When we first started getting the whole committee together in the first couple of months, we brainstormed and sort of reaffirm what is the vision of the Buddhist Fellowship. And I feel that's important because you need to have a certain structure in place so that every one of us can anchor around it. So we established that our vision, it should be a fellowship, that's why it's called Buddhist Fellowship, but it's a fellowship of a strong Dharma practitioner. We want everyone in the fellowship to get together to learn and practice the Dharma together. I mean, that's what really a fellowship is about. I mean, we are not a temple, it is a fellowship. Hence, our mission, we call it building a home, which means learning the Dharma and living the Dharma, which is practicing the Dharma, is what essentially we are trying to do, right? But trying to get the vision and the mission together based on certain core values, and our core values or virtues rather is around the four Brahma Vihara. That part which we do in the first few months, in my opinion, is the easiest of the lot. Because many of us are professionals, we come with the kind of training that we can put the structure in place. The fun part is when we execute the programs. Now what I mean by the fun part? The fun part is where you get the style of the people start appearing, right? You get many different styles appearing. And that's where you got to be very careful, because if you don't address to the different uniqueness of the different style, then the organization might collapse. And you have seen some of it, right? So what should we do to address this? Because if the leaders in the organization is not united, it's not harmonious, can you imagine what will happen throughout the rest of the organization? Right? So what we plan to do, and I'm very happy that there are 19 of us in the committee, it's quite a big committee, right? I'm very happy that all 19 of us decided to do some bonding exercise together. Now, we have not done it yet, but at least we agreed to do. Which means that we agree on one common date, which is very difficult for 19 people to get together on one common date, right? So we're going to do a bonding exercise. But what is this bonding exercise? It's not a rah-rah thing, it's not like, hey, let's makan together, shake hands, sing some song. No. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to be serious stuff. So I'm fortunate enough to have two members of the Sangha who are professionally trained. And that's amazing, in the last 4 months, I discovered a lot of talented Sangha in Singapore. And they volunteer and says, okay, I will help you, Wilson, to be the professional Dharma moderator. So we're going to do exercise similar to what we had done earlier this morning, right? The first question, all 19 of us will ask each other, brother, sister, I love your this style. I think it's fantastic. It's awesome. You make a difference to us. Feel good, right? Just like the strength that you did just now. Then after that, you will reflect. You will get the Dhamma moderator or the Sangha moderator to reflect. What does sharing the strength of the person mean? So that's one part of the exercise. Then the second part of exercise which we will do is, hey brother and sister, I think maybe this area, I take a different approach, right, will create a different impact. Right? So you're reflecting it. But we'll do it in a way that we will not tell you personally. To write on the, what you did just now, on the yellow post-it note, so you can get 18 feedbacks since there are 19 of us, and you reflect, wow, if 50% say the same thing, it tells you something, right? If everybody says the same thing, it tells you something. So it's a good reflection. It's done in a very harmless way, right? But yet effective. But the point is that you want to do it in a Dhamma way, because we are a Buddhist fellowship. I think that's important, right? And then the third thing is, okay, I know what I'm good, I know what I can do better. Then the third thing is, so what I'm going to do about it, right? Pick one or two areas, it's more than enough. And what I can do about it, and what I should do about it, and how I can get my fellow members to support me to do it. So we're going to try this out. We have not done it, we have fixed a date sometime next year, right? Early next year, we'll try this exercise and I'll tell the Venerable, if this exercise turns out well, then maybe we can help promote it to other organizations, other Buddhist organizations, so we all benefit. Because whatever we learn, we should always share. So I believe that, one thing is to have the vision, the other thing to have the mission, but the harmony by recognizing one's strength and be very well aware about it and do something about it, I think that's very important. Then at the top leadership in any organization, then we can pull the whole organization together, because it then go down to different part of the organization, maybe this volunteer group, right? They will have their own dynamics, right? Or the youth group, they will also have another dynamic. We can all take that practice and slowly propagate it down to the organization. So that's one thing in terms of the organizational management, so to speak. The financial stability is also important, because today a lot of us in the volunteer organization depends on donations, but we also recognize that it's important for us to be financially stable or sustainable. So we got to figure out how to do business in the Dhamma way. So I think that's very important, exactly what Samantha mentioned. Samantha also talks about how we, the mode of operation, right? The governance that we need to put in place, right? And how to be efficient. We really need to make use of technology to be very efficient. But sometimes we overuse the technology. And I want to give you a real example within Buddhist Fellowship, okay? So we all started using WhatsApp. It's a wonderful tool and everybody exchange message. But it's crazy, I get 100 WhatsApps on my phone. That's too much, right? That's because what? Everything we put into one group. Discussion, consultation, chit-chat, everything all into one group. So we learn from it. And some of the members says, okay, I'm going to switch on my WhatsApp. Too many. It's valid, but you got to do something about it. So what we did is, okay, let's learn from it. Let's divide. Okay, we have a WhatsApp group just for chit-chat. WhatsApp group for serious stuff. Okay, you start dividing it, right? And then the more complex topic, let's use email, because email gives you a medium by which you can express more, create more constructs, and then discuss. So I'm just giving you some of the learnings that we have, so that it really helps to make the organization run. Right? But I'm also very keen about inter-organization between Buddhist Fellowship and other organizations. So I want to cite you a recent example which I thought I was very inspired. We are planning for a Visak conference, a Visak concert 2016. Any concert you need minimum 6 months, and we're already so late. Now it's really December, and Visak is just only about 6 months away. It's just too short a run time. But we wanted to do it differently. We wanted to do it, okay, why we want to do a Visak musical? Because I'm a firm believer that music is a very important channel to really spread the Dhamma. Because I'm not a musician, but I just have a strong belief that music can be a very effective means by which we can reach out, right? So I look around and say, okay, why don't I get BGF Malaysia. All of you may know Brother Datuk Vitowi, very well-known musician. I had to chat with him, say, hey, we want to join force, right? And then I approached Brother Erwin, the Buddhist Fellowship in Indonesia. Say, let's join force because these people, music are in their blood. For me, it's not even in my blood. So, you learn from them, and everybody agreed that we should do a joint result. But they tell me, Wilson, you run the show, we just support you from the back. I said, no. This is not what I want to have. What I want to have is a small b and a small f, not a capital B and a capital F. Because if we do it, 3 Buddhist organizations, and 2 of them are so talented in their musicians and the Buddhist talents that they have, but we do it together, the impact will be greater because, number one, firstly, we must believe why we want to do this concert. Because we feel that this concert is a stepping stone to really reach out to a lot of nominal Buddhists, not those are sitting on the bench, right? And make them fully appreciate, what does Dhamma music really means, right? So it's not just to come and put up 2 items and that's it. I mean that's okay, that is like average performance, right? But you really want to have it different. So the difference is to believe in the cause, right? So after many conversations, Brother Datuk and everybody says, okay, we're doing together as one. So small b, small f, not Buddhist Fellowship Singapore, which I think is good because then your agenda is higher purpose. It's not just about one organization trying to outshine.